Hey, this is Andrew Lim inviting you to go out on a limb. I am here in Palermo, yes, so that's why it's befitting to actually walk in this little tiny lane because this is obviously the city or the capital of Sicily that is chaotic. Not right now because it's in the morning. People are not out yet, they're probably still sleeping, but we're here for a couple of days just to venture out and see what this capital of Sicily or Sicilian capital has to offer. And we're gonna go check out a few locations. So come go on a limb with me and we will see what Palermo, the city of chaos, has to offer. Folks, before we start, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notify button for new content that I upload weekly. Grazie mille. So Palermo, the capital of Sicily, located on the north part of the island, is home to about 850,000 Sicilians. Now, how do I describe Sicily? Well, chaotic is the word, but chaotic with history and culture that's worth discovering. Its roads, often narrow, are filled with cars that drive with traffic signals and stoplights that often act as suggestions only. So the graffiti walls and narrow roads with laundry hanging over our heads make up a majority of the backdrop of our visit. The place to visit when you're here in Palermo is the outdoor food and produce market. Mercado del Ballarò is the most popular one among them. It is the city's busiest street markets and goes for several city blocks and buzzes with activities well into the late afternoon. However, for safety reasons, it is best to come here just in the morning when the market is most packed with people. Now just watch out for pickpockets and those coming on moped because they can just grab and go. The market is a fascinating mix of noises, smells, and street life. You'll find fresh seafood of all kinds here, including whole octopus that Ursula herself probably won't be so thrilled with. For sea urchin or uni lovers, you can get fresh ones here priced really reasonably, like a few euros, and have the vendor open it for you. It's sweet and fresh. There are also all kinds of fresh meats here, as well as fresh fruit juices like my favorite pomegranate juice, freshly squeezed one by one by hand. Lots of fresh fruits and vegetables sold here. You'll also find locals playing a game of card here and buying vegetables off a truck. Some parts of the streets can be rather smoky from meat grilling vendors, which you probably need a shower from all the smoke or walking through all the smoke. Now, the market has a long history. Now, in fact, it actually dates back to the era of Arab rule. Overall, Mercado del Ballarò is a place to visit when you're here in Palermo. Now, walking past a flea market that looks more like a war zone, if you ask me, there are several flea markets you can visit while you're here in Palermo, the most popular one being Piazza Marina. The thing about Palermo is that you'll find historical buildings located right next to tight residential building and hanging laundries, and horses popping out of nowhere. This must be a city horse stable. You also find moms ironing their clothes in the alley. The other spot to visit while here in Palermo is the Palermo Cathedral. Built in 1185, Palermo Cathedral is characterized by different architectural styles due to its long history of additions, alterations, as well as restorations. It's a big cathedral with an impressive interior. Perhaps the part that I love the most is where I had to go hit the stairs to go up to the top of the cathedral. The entrance cannot be spotted easily. It's kind of like, being in a Harry Potter movie. Now, once you get upstairs, the flight of stairs are pretty narrow. It's actually worth it because the top level does offer a nice view of Palermo. Now, next to the cathedral is the Diocesan Museum. This is home to an important collection of artwork. It houses work by Pedro Novelli, Sicily's most significant painter of the early 17th century, with his works such as the Compiendo di Cristo Morto, which means the Lamentation of Christ. Now, my favorite part of this Diocesan Museum is the balcony that provides a lot of wind and air, because when I visited, it was rather hot that day. So the city also has several beautiful theaters, such as Teatro Massimo, which is the biggest in Italy and renowned for its perfect acoustic. Now, Via Ruggiero Settimo is a popular pedestrian-only shopping street if you feel like buying stuff. And Via Maqueda, which is also close to traffic, features great outdoor dining. Now, on the corner of Via Maqueda and Via Emmanuel, you actually find 4 identical buildings that's beautiful, forming a perfect crossroad with live street performances. Perhaps the best way to support the young generation of Sicilians is to visit the No Mafia Memorial that's located on Victoria Emmanuel, not too far from those identical buildings. The museum offers free entrance with donations welcome and exhibits stories of the mafia and as well as pictures of their victims. It's definitely a great way to round up your visit to the chaotic city that is Palermo.